What's up, ladies and gentlemen? We are back and we have some spicy news to talk about today. So this Jay-Z and P. Diddy situation is getting quite out of hand. Let me just tell you, it's getting out of hand, man. I mean, the whole hip-hop scene is in shambles right now because of all these allegations. Now, the Jay-Z to the P. Diddy and P. Diddy's in the feds. This is crazy, man. What happened to hip-hop? What happened to just rapping, man? What happened? I guess the drugs aren't good enough nowadays. They have to go and get a high that involves humans. I don't know. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. But we're gonna react to this video. I believe this guy's name is Penguin Zeno. I don't know. I always see him. He's very popular. And shout out to him. Shout out to him for doing this video. I really want to react to it because this Jay-Z and P. Diddy situation is crazy. Now, guys, make sure you leave a like down below. I will really appreciate it. Also, drop your thoughts down below as well. I want to talk about it down in the comment section. Craziness here.
One of the most vile individuals in music industry history has been getting more and more horrible things about it coming to light. It would take hours to go over every crime he's accused of. It is a list that goes on, filled with the most awful, unimaginable things possible. It would be easier to talk about crimes he isn't accused of committing. Like, he probably started dying and dashing just for the sake of adding more crimes to his resume. And today we received some new information with one of the many celebrities that associated with P. Diddy over the years, Jay-Z, who is now accused in a civil lawsuit of raping a 13-year-old at an after party with P. Diddy and an unnamed female celebrity who was there watching.
Since Combs was indicted by federal prosecutors last fall, these parties he was known for hosting and what celebrities may have attended has been the subject of intense scrutiny. But the blast radius around the star had been relatively contained until now.
The P. Diddy party list is a lot like the Epstein list in terms of rich and powerful people that attended them. And a lot of people, myself included, have wondered if these names will ever even see the light of day because they have the means of burying it potentially. But luckily, that doesn't seem to be the case here now that Jay-Z has been named. But they should all be named, and hopefully they will, over the course of this case, make like a game of guess who and name them. Because the shit that happened at these parties is terrible, horrible, just deplorable shit. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if we learned that P. Diddy threw a party where they dug up Jeffrey Dahmer's corpse and paraded around Weekend at Bernie's style or something. Like, the things that have reportedly happened there are things that everyone associated needs to face consequences for. And now Jay-Z is the first one that has been named.
The anonymous woman, who was 13 at the time, described in the lawsuit as being drugged and raped at an MTV VMAs after party she says Combs hosted in 2000. According to the suit, she recalls accepting a drink from a waitress that made her feel woozy and lightheaded before she says she was raped by Jay-Z and then Combs in a bedroom as an unnamed female celebrity watched.
There's a lot of people that have been running defense, kind of just playing like the pseudo PR department for celebrities that have attended P. Diddy's parties but are innocent of any wrongdoing, saying things like, yeah, they may have attended a party, hootenanny or two of P. Diddy's, but they didn't know anything was bad there. They didn't know there were any kids there or any victims of sex trafficking. They just went to a party. They had no clue.
So I got to stop it right there. So, guys, let's just the Jay-Z situation came out just recently, and that was pretty bad. I mean, it was bad when you're talking about it like a 13-year-old girl, but that got debunked. So that got debunked just recently. The accuser came out and said that there was some mistakes in her story, and yeah, Jay-Z was not the person. So Jay-Z's situation is debunked. Let's just stop that right there. Now, P. Diddy, you're not off the hook. You're not off the hook yet. But I am a man of the law and I am a man of justice. And so you definitely have to be found guilty before I throw any accusations at anyone when it comes to things like this. Like, I'm not going to say, oh, he did it. Oh, he diddied. He's the diddler. No, I'm not going to do any of that stuff, man. Until he's found guilty of all these charges, everything else is speculation. Everything else is speculation. So, I mean, I'm hoping that this stuff is not true, but based off off of, you know, what we all seen on the news with the feds raiding his houses. You know, when the feds get involved, they've been investigating you for a while. It's not necessarily something that they just pick you out of a hat and, oh yeah, let's go scoop up Jay-Z today, or let's go scoop up P. Diddy today. No, they've been investigating you for a while. They have information. They have reasonable cause and without a doubt a reason why they're charging you for this. So P. Diddy, you might be canned, man. It's unfortunate, but you know, we'll see as the trial and everything goes on. But I mean, like I said, I'm not gonna call you guilty until you're guilty.
And I feel like that's a load of fucking horseradish, because you would know that that is a child. That is a 13-year-old. That is a toddler. They just stopped believing in Santa Claus. There's no way you wouldn't know that there were kids there if there's 13-year-olds running around. That's craziness. And that wouldn't be a huge red flag to any of these celebrities. Like, it's not normal to have a 13-year-old at a fucking VMA after party. And a 13-year-old being served
that's
a
not
drink,
normal.
like that waitress would know they just served a drink to a child. Even if the waitress didn't know that it was spiked, why are you serving a 13-year-old kid out?
That's because it's this celebrity lifestyle, man. The celebrity lifestyle. I mean, look at Justin Bieber. His entire album was talking about the things he went through, the trauma he went through when it came to being around P. Diddy. It's unfortunate that Justin Bieber had to go through that and went through such a deep depression. Fame, success, like the price of that stuff is you can't get that time back, you guys. You can't get that childhood back. Yes, you had everything you ever wanted. Yes, you had all the people loving you. It's crazy, man.
Alcohol. This is why I think everyone that attended these parties is very likely guilty of some heinous shit. So this 13-year-old was allegedly served.
I'm gonna have to not agree to
that. Made
that.
her feel woozy and was then raped by Jay-Z and then P. Diddy, and apparently an unnamed female celebrity was watching. I'm pretty surprised they didn't name the female celebrity here. I don't really understand why. Maybe that's for like a different case coming up.
Jay-Z swiftly issuing a statement Sunday calling the claims heinous and accusing the woman's attorney of trying to blackmail him, suggesting the attorney had tried to seek a settlement first, adding, quote, "I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Whomever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away. My heart and support goes out to the true victims in the world." The couple will have to explain the, quote, cruelty and greed of people to their children. Combs, too, has denied any allegations of sexual assault.
Jay-Z is strongly denying these claims, and one thing that's important to note here is that the lawyer, Tony Buzbee, he's not squeaky clean. This is no saint here. He's got some dirty laundry of his own. He actually did get sued not too long ago for an alleged assault on a former client, and then got sued again for extortion, where a celebrity and their team have accused Tony Buzbee of throwing out wildly false, horrific allegations, fabricated allegations of sexual assault, and has a pattern of leveling baseless and fabricated malicious allegations at high-profile individuals and threatening to name them publicly if they fail to pay exorbitant sums of money. So fundamentally what they're claiming is that Tony Buzbee indulges in rumor to leverage bad headlines and bad press for celebrities, so that way they will just settle out of court with him. Now, it's very possible that that extortion lawsuit is from a celebrity who has attended these Diddy parties and is panicking, trying to cover their own ass by trying to assassinate Tony Buzbee's character. That's possible too. There's no way of knowing for sure right now. I just thought it was worth mentioning that Tony Buzbee does have a little poop on his butt. But that doesn't mean, and there's no evidence to suggest, that he or the victims he represents are lying about their allegations. This case has just begun. It's the first one that has named another celebrity outside of P. Diddy, so we'll see as the facts continue to come out.
Right. We'll see as the facts come out. And I agree. We'll see as the facts come out. But some of the facts have came out and the accuser has now changed their story, and Jay-Z's going to be washed off of this one. But let's talk about Jay-Z a little bit. Now, Jay-Z is from the slums, man. He's from pretty dark parts of New York, right? So, like Jay-Z said you know, it's in his ethics as he grew up. You know, he is your typical rich celebrity hip hop mogul, but you never kind of lose your roots, and women and children are off the table when it comes to certain things, you know? Women and children are off the table. And I truthfully think that Jay-Z, he wouldn't do anything like that. I think, you know. But as for P. Diddy, I don't know, man. You know, the Meek Mill situation with P. Diddy and, you know, him calling him daddy and, you know, Justin Bieber making that album. A lot of this stuff is just sounding bad. And I'm not like against or hating on anyone's sexuality. You pick what you want to pick. You sleep what you want to sleep with. It's not my business, man. It's not my business. But if you do some heinous things with that, if you do like you add assault to that sexuality, that's when it becomes bad. That's when it becomes kind of everybody's business, you know? And I just hope some of this stuff isn't true. If it is true, then brother, you deserve to be locked away. I mean, an animal is an animal.
Right now, there's no evidence to suggest that this is all made up, and there's also no evidence to confirm any of the allegations because it's still just too early into this case. So I'll keep my finger on the pulse of it. I'm sure this will be a very big case that'll be talked about a lot. And I do want to just say, even if it turns out that this case isn't real against Jay-Z, I still don't believe Jay-Z is innocent of, like, wrongdoing. He was so close with P. Diddy for so many years, there is no fucking way.
Well,
there
I
is
have
no
to disagree.
chance
I
on
gotta
God's
disagree.
green earth that Jay-Z didn't know
he
about
might be
the
guilty
horrible
of
shit
some
that
money
P. Diddy was doing.
plays that he may have did, but
like it was all
I don't
right in their
think
faces.
I don't think
it wasn't a
he's guilty of
secret,
some of that
per
stuff.
se. Like the celebrities that attended knew that there was some foul, fishy shit
But
going
like I
on
said,
there.
I
If
can
you
be
had
wrong.
kids running
If I'm
around at
wrong, I'm
parties,
wrong.
And even if this
And I'm
13-year-old
a man
that
to
Tony
accept
Buzbee's
it.
representing turns out like never even went to a P. Diddy party or something, there still are tons and tons of other cases with overwhelming amounts of evidence to suggest that there were kids at these P. Diddy parties. And celebrities, I think, would know what a kid looks like versus an adult. So I just don't think someone as close to P. Diddy as Jay-Z was would possibly be squeaky clean here. Like, they would know about a lot of these crimes. Even if he didn't directly participate in them, I think him knowing about it and refusing to do anything is still extremely fucking horrible, too.
So, one thing about Jay-Z that is kind of off, you know, is the fact that he chased down Beyonce for many years. All I know is they are happily married, as from what we can see. They have children, beautiful children, and, you know, they're living their life. So I would say, you know, in a sense, leave that situation alone. Now, as for him going to some of those P. Diddy parties, yes, he went to some of those parties. Of course, he went to a lot of those parties. Of course, they're both two moguls. But that doesn't mean he's involved in a lot of the things that went behind the scenes in the party. Let's point, you know, Penguinzino out. You go to a YouTube creators function where all the YouTube creators and Mr. Beast and you and this and that, all these people get together and they have a party. I know you've been to one, at least one. And so anyone that was involved, say there was some heinous things or some, you know, the black door in the dark room that no one knew about, but it was another party going on back there. Say there was that going on and you had no aware of it. You just went to the party to go have fun, go mingle, go network with other creators. But now you're now involved in what was going on behind the black door, even though you didn't even know about it. So we don't want to throw that out there that anyone that went to any of P. Diddy parties was involved in some type of heinous act, because that can be reversed into other situations, such as us content creators. We're not involved in that stuff, even though it's going on. We just went to the party. We got an invite. Cool. Let's keep going.
But again, this case has just come out, so we'll learn about whether or not these claims are true as it develops.
Now, in a statement posted online, Buzbee, the lawyer, acknowledged sending Jay-Z a letter prior to filing this complaint, prior to this whole thing, seeking a confidential mediation, but says his client never demanded a penny from Jay-Z. At the time, she is now seeking an unspecified amount in damages, guys.
Jay-Z did post a lengthy response, basically saying Tony is an ambulance chaser that's attempting to blackmail him and extort him for money, using some absolutely horrific allegations.
She's
to
like, I want
try and have him cave in and settle and just pay a bunch of money based on nothing at all.
My
and
story
Tony Buzbee
doesn't really
then
match
responded saying that it's not blackmail at all, and says, Mr. Carter previously denied being the one who sued me and my firm. He even filed this frivolous case under a pseudonym, and then he confirms that he did send a letter prior to this lawsuit, but it was looking for confidential mediation and never demanded a single penny from Jay-Z. Now, I haven't passed the bar. I barely passed my fucking SATs, so I'm not going to pretend to understand how lawsuits work, but what I do know is that in a civil lawsuit, Jay-Z is not necessarily going to go to jail if it turns out all of this is true and he's found guilty on all counts of this lawsuit. It would then go to and paying out an unspecified amount of damages, as the news segment covered there. So I don't understand the sending a letter for confidential mediation and exactly what that entails. I really don't get the whole scope of it. All I know is that this is the first celebrity outside of P. Diddy that has now been accused of horrible things at P. Diddy's parties, and I think that this will be the first of many. Again, I really feel there is a huge number of celebrities that either participated in or knew about a lot of the illegal, horrible, vile shit that was happening with P. Diddy and his parties.
I agree. You know, P. Diddy had a 50-foot bed in his backyard. A 50-foot bed in his backyard. Like, why do you need a 50-foot bed? That's some orgy shit right there. Just come out and say, hey, we're also a media company and we do adult films. Cool. With celebrities. Cool. That's not the issue. But if you start involving children and, you know, unconsensual stuff, that's when it gets weird. But guys, I'm gonna leave it off at that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure once again you leave a like down below. Also, YouTube picked out a video just for you to watch next, so sit back and enjoy it. I'll see you in the next one.